Yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I'm going to be recapping week 37 of my 2025 video game backlog journey. Link in the description if you need the full explanation. But yeah, we are 37 weeks through the year, which is wild. But as always, I'm going to recap my gaming journey over the past week, and then I will dedicate a section of the video where I will talk about each game on a deeper level individually. And then I will recap the week ahead. So where we left off, I said that these are going to be an important 2 weeks for me because I have a lot of free time, and I wanted to make sure that I was putting as much of it as I possibly could without, going crazy into the backlog journey. So where I left off, I was playing Disco Elysium, 13 Sentinels Saints Rim, and Neo, as well as I started playing Tales of Iron 2. And I did get a little bit of time into every game this week, and the main one that I got time put into was 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, because I was able to finish it, which is awesome. I feel like it's the first time in a bit that I've finished a game, and it is exciting to know that I still can do it. This is taking us down to, I think, I might have to double check the math, but I think this is 756 hours, so that's exciting, I guess. Neo I'm still playing, and Disco Elysium I'm still playing, as well as Tales of Iron 2. I still have more, I have a couple more days of off of work, of free time, things like that. So even though I didn't get, I got one game finished, I didn't get more finished, but I'm still hoping to have some more finished by next week because I still have some more days off. I record these on Fridays, but Friday's just kind of the halfway point in my week off, basically, if that makes any sense. So I am expecting to hopefully have even more games to finish. But that is not everything. I also actually did start a new game this week. I wanted something that was different from everything else that I was playing, so I was looking for something that wasn't an action game. There's really nothing else like Disco Elysium on here. But yeah, so the conclusion that I came to was to start playing Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. So that's a very random thing to have started to play, but I did. So that is exciting. And that means that I'll have something new to talk about. But yeah, that is what happened over the past week. And I don't think I have anything else crazy to bring up. So I think we just move right along, whatever I'm trying to say, to the next section of the video, where I will dive a little bit deeper into each of the games that I played. So yeah, I don't really have much new to say about most of these games, so let's get the ones that I have less to say out of the way. So we'll start with Disco Elysium, which, is a very slow crawl. I'm sort of reached a point that I don't really know what else I'm supposed to do. There is, a time mechanic in game, and I have some quests that I have to wait until a certain time, and I'm just trying to figure out how to waste that time or find something productive to do in the meanwhile, which is showing to be a little bit of an issue, I guess. So I'm still enjoying the game overall, but I am a little stuck and I don't really know what I'm supposed to do, but I enjoy wandering around in circles and hoping that something happens. So I'm just going to keep trying that and see how it goes. But yes, that is really where I'm at with Disco Elysium. I think I maybe put 1 hour into it over this past week. I have been finding myself spending less time at the computer, playing games. And that's just kind of what it is for a lot of Steam games. I find that it just takes me a bit to really sit down. I don't know. I'm just not one to sit and play for hours and hours at the computer, Steam games. I don't know what it is. I find that I'm able to make longer gaming sessions out of console games. That's just how it is. But I will keep putting my time towards Disco Elysium. It's pretty fun, but I just don't really have much new to say about it other than I am a little stuck. But I will just keep trying and see what happens. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and touch on Neo. Neo is another one that I'm kind of getting stuck. And it's really just has to do with the bosses and levels are just getting harder and harder, which is to be expected with a game like this. But I there's been a couple times that I've played not really made that much progress, got a little frustrated, put the game down, and went on to something else. So I am a little bit worried about how much longer it might take to beat Neo, because I feel like I'm close-ish to the end, but I also feel like I'm kind of far away. Because there might not be that many levels per se, but I think the time that's going to take to get through all of them is still going to be more than I'm ready for. So yeah, that's a game that I'm kind of struggling with a little bit, but I mean, I still enjoyed it overall. And yeah, like I said, nothing real new to update with Neo. I'm just going to keep at it and hope things click again. And yeah, I'll go from there. I think there's still... I'm trying to think, the last mission that I did was, the recommended level was like 80 something. So I think I'm level like 81 or something like that. So, you know, I'm getting up there in levels, which is exciting. But yeah, that's how Neo's going. And then, even though it's not on the backlog, I will touch on Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter, because it really just does feel like more Tales of Iron. I also got stuck on one boss in that game, so most of my playtime has been fighting what I think is like the first major boss of the game, which was quite difficult for me. But I think as I get more used to the game's controls again, it shouldn't be too bad. There's some times where, you know, you can just make a stupid mistake and take a lot of damage, but basically every enemy has like a pretty set, like a standard set of like animations and attacks, and so it's a game that you can pretty much learn the attack patterns and, you know, react accordingly. So that's how I was able to get through that boss, and I'm looking forward to just playing more of that, I guess. I just dip my toes in when I get time. I have been focusing more on the backlog, so that's why I decided to just talk about this now, because, you know, didn't have that much else to say. But yeah, so it's going well, even though I'm still very early in the game. So let's go ahead and now talk about the game that I finished this week, which is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. And in general, I have to say that it had to have been one of my favorite gaming experiences that I've had in a long time. This game is so hard to describe because it's split as like almost like a visual novel type thing, as well as this, like, you know, mech combat strategy game thing. And the balance between the two is really cool. I found myself really enjoying the story section, which I'm not one that super dives into video game stories all that often, but I think it was very intriguing having the story being seen from 13 different points of view. You're able to jump in, see one character's like point of view, what their backstory is, and then go hop to another one, and sometimes you end up in the same scene, but from a different character's point of view. You get context to like what happened before the scene or after the scene. There's a lot of things with timelines and dimensions and time travel and androids and robots, and it's crazy stuff. And when the game ended, I still feel like I only understood like 70% of like what was happening, and I think that's probably about all I will understand. Technically, there is actually a little bit more to do. Once you beat the game, there's another set of battles to do, which I think I might have to do if I want to get the Platinum Trophy, because I'm actually pretty close to the Platinum Trophy. So I might do that at some point. I don't think it'll be this year, because I would rather spend my time trying to play other games on the backlog. But it's completed for the sake of, like, I rolled credits. You know, I did just about everything that I could. I got 100% on just about every, like, each of the 3 parts of the game. And then there's just like post-game content that I will go back and do at some point in the future, but probably not this year. But yeah, it was an incredible experience. I've never played anything like it. I can't think of anything else that I've even heard is even similar to it. And I think more games, I think, should try to experiment with like the way that they tell their stories, because I think telling the story through the way they did with 13 different protagonists and jumping through different scenarios and points in time and things like that, I think was super intriguing, super interesting, and it made me like actively engage with the story, because I had to try and place like, oh, when is this happening, or what context is this? It's like, oh, this is with this character. It just made me engage with it a lot more than if it would have just been like a one-person story, like being told in chronological. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it wouldn't have been the same. So I appreciate that they experimented with the way that they told the story, and I think it'd be cool that other games do similar things maybe, but you know, I don't have much else to say other than it started to reach a point towards the end where I was getting a little bit tired of the battling, and right as the game started to really hit that line of like, this is getting a little bit repetitive, it like ended, which is like perfect. That's what you want from a game's pacing. You want to be actively engaged, and then as it starts to feel like you've had enough, like that's when it should end, and it basically ends at the perfect spot, pacing wise. So I love that, and that was really cool. So I have nothing but good things to say, which is amazing, because I really had only heard good things about it going in, and it turned out to be really completely up my alley. So fantastic reports all around for 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about today is Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which is the game that I started playing this week. And by this week, I literally mean like yesterday. I just recently picked it up and started playing it. So as always, let's go ahead and dive into why is Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair on this list. And that is on this list because I have a bit of a history with Yooka-Laylee. Yooka-Laylee is a 3D platformer game from, I think it's some of the developers that made Banjo-Kazooie, or some of the developers from Rare that like made their own studio. It has some sort of connections there. It's supposed to be sort of this like reimagined like Banjo-Kazooie type game, which I played a little bit of. I tried multiple times to play the first Yooka-Laylee and did not enjoy it. Did not like it. And I think even though I own it, I did not put it on this backlog list because I have no interest in playing it. Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, however, is the second game, and it is a 2D side-scrolling platformer. And by all accounts, from people whose opinions that I trust, who have also said that they don't like the first game, have said that this is way better and is a good game. And so, trusting that, I was like, okay, I'll try. I remember buying this game a long time ago. I think I dipped my toes in once, and I was like, yeah, this seems pretty cool, and then I just didn't play it again. Not really because of the game's fault, just because, I don't know, I just happened to play other things, I guess. So it, was left on the shelf for years and years until I put it on this list, and I'm trying it out again. So like I said, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is a 2D platformer. The sort of shtick with this is, you have the Impossible Lair, which, if you can do it, you could literally beat the final level immediately if you're skilled enough. But it's called the Impossible Lair because it is very, very difficult. And what you do is you go around to the other levels and you rescue these like bees, and they will give you an extra hit that you can take. From my understanding, I think there's 48 bees that you can collect, which could give you up to 48 hits that you can take in the Impossible Lair. So the Impossible Lair will have like boss fights, it'll have, tough platforming sections or whatever. I haven't really engaged with it that much, but that is the gist of how I understand it. And the more bee shields that you go around and collect, the more hits you can take and the better your odds at beating the Impossible Lair are. So that's kind of my plan right now. Each level also has like 5 coins that you can collect, and there's like collectibles and stuff like that outside of just these like bee, like there are these like bee battalions is what they're called. There's a lot of like bee puns and whatnot. But there's other collectibles outside of like the main things that you're rescuing. I'm not interacting with them all that much. I do think that the controls are a little clunky, a little, I don't know, something about them, the weight of the controls doesn't feel right sometimes. Some of the jumps that you have to make feel very awkward. And there was one section that I kept falling off, and the game is just like, oh, you can just like hold triangle and skip this whole section if you want. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, this game is very, I don't know, it's very handholdy, but at the same time, it's like, not, I don't really know. It's not really one that you're gonna end up getting, like, I'm gonna end up getting stuck, because if I get stuck, I guess I can just skip sections of the game. But I also kind of feel like, I don't know, if they were like really confident in like the design of their levels, that maybe that wouldn't have to be an option. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not getting a lot from the level design. I'm not really getting a lot from like the game that much. The characters and atmosphere and art style and stuff is pretty good, but the way it controls and the way it feels is like, okay. I already kind of had the thought of like, maybe I shouldn't even play this. but I already started. I think it'll be an easy game to get through, and I don't want to just stop playing every game that I start just because it's not like a 10 out of 10. So I think I'm just going to keep trying and see how it goes. I don't expect me to take the full like 16 hours that I have listed on my spreadsheet. It'll probably be less than that because I'm not interacting with all the extra collectible things. I just kind of want to get from point A to point B and go from there, unless things are interesting enough to do, you know? But, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I'll keep y'all updated in the future for how these games are going. But that is everything I have to talk about here, so we can go ahead and transition to the preview of the week ahead. And the week ahead, I mean, nothing crazy. Like I said, I still have a few days off, so plenty of time to dedicate towards the backlog. I think right now my issue is that 13 Sentinel Sage's Rim was like an easy go-to game where I would spend like hours playing that, and then I would set it down and play something else. Like when I throw on like Neo, sometimes I could play that for an hour or two. But if I'm playing like Disco Elysium, sometimes I'm playing 30 minutes at a time. Sometimes I'm playing maybe an hour. Ukulele, I don't see myself playing more than a couple levels at a time. I feel like all of these games is just kind of like, oh, I'm playing a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. I feel like I need one game to really like sink its teeth into me and like really get me like sitting down and dedicated to like playing it. And right now that 13 Sentinels Sage's Rim is done, I don't really have that. So I'm just gonna keep bouncing around, which is fine, but I don't know. I think I will make more progress if I have at least one game that is constantly like pulling me to play it, you know? So I think right now looks like I'm playing 4 games, including Tales of Iron 2. I definitely could see myself adding 1 or 2 more games to the rotation. I think Fable 2 is something that I would like to play. I haven't been playing anything on the Xbox lately, and I think it could be good to have a game to play on the Xbox just to sort of rotate my seats in the house, if that makes sense, instead of just playing everything on PlayStation and sitting in the same chair for hours and hours on end, even if I'm switching games. Sometimes moving your physical spot I feel like is helpful, so I think I would like playing an Xbox game. So I think Fable 2 is probably going to happen very soon. And then I could see myself still throwing on one more PlayStation game just for the heck of it. Whether that's Dead Space or Forspoken or like Infamous Second Son, maybe, or Life is Strange 2, which I'm not even convinced that I'm going to play on PlayStation. I haven't fully figured out what I'm doing with that yet. But there's a couple, or Tearaway Unfolded, that could actually be a really easy game to get through. Yeah, I think those are possible. I think also I might try to do the Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valencia route. I just need to, get a way to play it, if y'all catch my drift. And maybe I'll start setting that up sometime this weekend, but maybe it will be saved for a future weekend. I'm not entirely sure. I sort of imagine that I could probably, now that like football season is back and in the swing of things, I do like watching a lot of football. And if I just happen to be watching it on my computer, it's definitely something good. I can multitask and do something else, i.e. play a video game. So there might be some multitasking, and I think Fire Emblem Echoes would be a good game to multitask with. So that is possible as well. So that's just sort of my thoughts and things that I've thrown out there. We'll see what happens. Hopefully by next week I would like to be done with another game or two. I don't think I'm close enough to the end of Neo or Disco Elysium for that to be a realistic possibility by next week. Ukulele just depends on if I can put that much time into it, or maybe something else really sinks its teeth into me, and I make a lot of progress in that. Who knows? So yeah, things are looking all right. I still have a decent amount of games to start, but I think I could at least get to starting all of them. I don't have any new games to worry about until October, when Ghost of Yotei comes out, and that will also be hard to balance some time around. But that's a future problem. So that is where I'm at right now. That is my goals, and that is sort of my current plan right now. Any of those games that I mentioned are the ones that are most likely soon to be played, but you never know. I could always just come out of left field and play something completely different because I get a random itch, any day. So you never know what could happen. But that is all I have for you all this week. Feel free to leave comments, questions, concerns, and all that. The end of the year is approaching quickly, and I'm gonna keep doing my best to play as many of these as I can, and we'll go from there. So I will be around next week to update you on what happens, and hopefully I will see you all then. So I will see you for the recap of week 38 next week. Goodbye.